This story isn't about sugar. It's about survival in a regime, branding in a crisis, and the dark roots behind your favorite soda. Fanta. Bright, fizzy, orange. But what if I told you it was invented in Nazi Germany by Coca-Cola? It sounds like clickbait, but it's 100% real. In the middle of World War II, Coca-Cola's operations in Germany hit a wall. The US had embargoed exports. No more Coca-Cola syrup. No more signature taste. No more product. Most companies would have shut down. But not Max Keith, the man running Coca-Cola Germany. He improvised, created a brand new drink using leftover scraps like whey and fruit pulp. No cola, no caffeine, just creativity under pressure. The result was Fanta. This wasn't just a business pivot. It was a corporate survival story inside one of the world's darkest regimes. Why did Coca-Cola stay? How was Fanta really made? And why does no one talk about this? The answers will shock you. Before the war, Coca-Cola wasn't just popular in Germany. It was a phenomenon. By 1939, Coca-Cola had over 50 bottling plants across the country. Sales were booming. Germans loved the American taste, the slick branding, and the feeling of being part of something modern. And behind that momentum was one man, Max Keith. Keith was a marketing mastermind. He scaled Coca-Cola's German operations faster than any other market outside the US. He walked a fine political line. Coca-Cola Germany never openly supported the Nazis, but it also never challenged them. Coca-Cola became the drink of the working class and the party elite. You'd find it at rallies, offices, corner shops. It was American in origin, but German in flavor and tone. Then World War II began. Trade routes closed. US companies were blocked from doing business. And suddenly, Coca-Cola Germany couldn't get its secret syrup, the one ingredient that Coke. Factories sat idle. Bottlers panicked. And Max Keith had a choice to make. Let the empire crumble or improvise. That moment would lead to the creation of a drink no one expected, from ingredients no one wanted, and a brand the world still knows today. Fanta. By 1940, Coca-Cola Germany was on the brink of collapse. The war had severed all ties with the United States. Allied blockades cut off trade routes. And, most critically, Coca-Cola syrup could no longer be imported. Without that secret formula, Coca-Cola wasn't Coca-Cola. It was just sugar water in a bottle. Factories sat idle. Bottlers had no product. And Max Keith was stuck running a beverage empire with nothing to sell. But here's where things get interesting. Instead of shutting down, Keith went into survival mode. He knew that closing up shop meant more than lost revenue. It meant unemployment for thousands of German workers. It meant losing the brand presence Coca-Cola had spent years building. So he asked a question that would change history. What can we make with what we have left? No syrup, no cola beans, no exotic imports, just scraps, whatever could be found inside a war-torn country under economic lockdown. Keith challenged his team to get creative. If they couldn't sell Coca-Cola, they'd invent something new. Not as a legacy, not as a brand, but as a temporary fix. That fix became one of the most iconic drinks of all time. With no Coke syrup and no imports, Max Keith had to get creative. He told his team to use whatever they could find. The result was a Frankenstein beverage made from scraps, leftover whey from cheese production, fruit pulp from cider presses, beet sugar, and anything else remotely edible. There was no consistent formula. Fanta in Nazi Germany tasted different every week, depending on what ingredients were available. Sometimes it was fruity, sometimes sour, sometimes just flat. But somehow, it worked. They named it Fanta, short for fantasy, the German word for imagination. And against all odds, it sold. Fast. Fanta kept Coca-Cola's German plants alive. It kept workers employed. And, more importantly, it kept the brand embedded in the German market, even while the rest of the world was at war. Keith even received awards from the Nazi regime for his contributions to the economy, though he never joined the Nazi party. Fanta wasn't born from flavor, fun, or strategy. It was a survival drink, created during crisis. powered by resourcefulness, and backed by a company refusing to shut down. After the war, it vanished. But Coca-Cola hadn't forgotten what Fanta unlocked. And soon, neither would the world. When the war ended, Coca-Cola regained control of its German operations, and Fanta disappeared. The company shelved it quietly. No press releases, no ads, just silence. Anything tied to Nazi Germany was now a liability, and Coca-Cola wanted distance fast. The factories went back to bottling Coke. And for years, the entire Fanta episode stayed buried in corporate history. But by the 1950s, consumer tastes had changed. Sweet, fruity sodas were trending. So Coca-Cola made a bold move. Bring back Fanta, but this time, make it fun. They reintroduced it with a vibrant orange flavor, bright colors, and catchy ads, no mention of its origins. The rebrand worked. Fanta took off across Europe, then globally. What started as a wartime survival drink became a billion-dollar product. Today, Fanta is sold in over 190 countries with over 90 different flavors. It's fun, it's fizzy, it's iconic. But behind the fruit lies a backstory most people never hear, and Coca-Cola rarely tells. Fanta wasn't born from fun. It was born from desperation inside Nazi Germany. A drink made from scraps, created to keep a brand alive during war, and later rebranded into something bright, fizzy, and forgettable. Coca-Cola doesn't highlight this part of its history, but it's a powerful reminder. Behind every product there's a story, and sometimes it's darker than you think. So next time you crack open a Fanta, remember, it's more than soda. It's survival in a bottle, and a piece of history most people never hear. If stories like this blow your mind, like, subscribe, and stay tuned.